It's Verity here at my YouTube channel and blog Pretty Little Button, where I make paper crafting tutorials for the everyday crafter. So today I've got two fabulous fab foiled fireworks cards using a selection of beautiful fab foils from WOW and showing you how to use them with your bonding powders to create these fabulous firework looking cards. So let's get started. So as I said, I'm going to be using the fab foils from WOW, and there is a whole range of colours that they have. There are some beautiful sort of tealy blues, some greens, pinks, purples, golds, and I'm using the fab foils with this Sparkle and Pop stamp set from Catherine Puller Designs along with the bonding powder. Now you need to use the bonding powder in order to foil your stamps, because this will create a sticky surface for the foil to attach to. So I've got a piece of black cardstock here and I've cut it down to a slimline card size for a UK card, but you can adjust this accordingly for your size in the US. Now I'm selecting some of these fireworks stamps from the Sparkle and Pop stamp set, and I'm just positioning them on the card, roughly sort of making a triangle or a trio with three different fireworks. Once I've picked them up with my Misty Door, I'm then going to ink them up with my WOW Clear Ultra Slow Drying Embossing ink, because we need to stamp them in our ink to then apply the bonding powder. Of course, this also acts a bit like a watermark, and on the black cardstock you will be able to see if you have stamped them well. So I'm covering them with WOW bonding powder. Now WOW bonding powder is a very, very fine powder, and this will look similar to perhaps clear gloss or white embossing powder when you cover your stamps up. However, it is very, very fine, and this will, when melted, will go clear. Now I find when using the bonding powder and the fab foils, I like to heat up the bonding powder in small stages, so I'm just doing one firework at a time. So you use your dual speed heat gun to melt the bonding powder, and it will go glossy like you expect with clear gloss, but it will go very, very shiny and tacky. So once it's heated, it remains tacky for some time, so I just position the foil over the top and gently tap it down for a few seconds, and then once I've done that I can then burnish it in. I don't burnish it straight away because you might push the melted bonding powder around and distort the image, so I allow it to adhere first of all and then burnish it in. So the first colour I have used is teal. And what I find is handy is to have little bits of the foil trimmed down and ready to use, rather than using it off the ream that the fab foil comes in. It's easier to just cut off the amount of foil that you're going to need to work with. So going in with the second firework here, again I'm using my dual speed heat gun to melt that bonding powder, making sure it goes nice and clear and glossy, and it doesn't matter if you heat it a bit too much compared to embossing powder, because it just ensures that it's melted and it's nice and tacky. So here I'm then going over with some silver fab foil, again just pressing this down lightly with my hands. Now it will be hot to touch, do bear that in mind, but I'm just lightly pressing it down first of all before I then go and use my bone folder to burnish that foil on. That just makes sure I get a really good adhesion. So I'm heating up my last firework, and then once that again has turned tacky, I'm then going to cover it with the ice blue fab foil. This is a lovely softer blue, and as the name states, it's a bit kind of icy and cold, but it goes really, really well with the other two colours that I chose to use on this card. Now what's great about this stamp set is you can build up your fireworks, you can layer them up, so you can overlap different areas of the fireworks together. So that's what I'm now doing. I'm putting it back into my Misty tool just so I can add some more fireworks over the top, and this allows me to multi-layer foils and colours of foil, so I don't have to have the same colour of foil for each layer, which is brilliant. Okay, so once I've stamped them and I've covered them in bonding powder, then I can go and start heat setting the bonding powder again and then using the foils over the top. So the first firework here I use silver foil, whereas now on this second layer of this firework I'm applying violet fab foil, and I'm just pressing that down and peeling it off over the top. So you get this gorgeous multicoloured firework and it's foiled, which really helps it stand out on this dark black background. And of course with fireworks you always associate them with a black night background, so the foil is a brilliant way to get that real vibrant look and colour to your fireworks on a dark coloured cardstock. So again, I'm just layering up the different colours, and then I'm also stamping and foiling some of the stars in the stamp set. Now, to make the sky look a little bit more realistic, I'm using my Scanzai Tamboy Starry watercolour paint set, and I'm just spritzing it with some water from in a water spritzer just to get the watercolours wet, and then I can use a paintbrush to pick up some of the colour and flick it onto my sky. This will look like stars within the sky. So I think I'm using the white gold here, the yellow gold, and maybe the blue gold, just to get a bit of a variation in the stars and in the sky. Now I do use several different methods. I either put the paint on an acrylic block and flick it off, or I hold the paintbrush over the top and I tap it down. And both of them can give different sizes of flicks and splatters and stars. Now, when I was originally filming this, I thought my camera hadn't filmed pretty much most of this card. And as a result, I thought, oh no, I need to go and refilm it. So I did create a second card, and I'm not going to go through the whole process of the card making again, but I'm just going to show you the colours that I used on these cards. So again, I've stamped several of the fireworks onto a piece of black card, and this I'm creating another slimline card. I'm just creating a different size night sky, and once I've heat set that, the first colour I'm going in with is blush, and this is one of my favourite Fab Foil colours. It's a beautiful soft pink, and I thought, why not do pink fireworks? You can get pink fireworks surely. So yeah, I went in with a pink sort of rose gold colour scheme for this card. So for the second colour here, I'm using the rose gold, which is a beautiful rose gold foil. And then lastly, for the last colour that I'm using on this card, I'm using the copper, which is a very lovely, vibrant copper. Got a lovely red tone to it. So these three colours really work well, and I've added a few silver stars as well. And then with this card, I also did the whole paint splatters as well, just to really finish off that night sky and make it look complete. To finish these cards off, I trimmed the panels down and foam mounted them onto white card bases. And for the full card panel, I added a cheers sentiment using a die from MFT, which I think is now no longer available, but I'll link to a similar die down below. And then I added a sentiment from one of Catherine Pooler's stamp set. It says good stuff inside. And for the second card, I added two sentiments from the Altenew Sentiment Strips stamp set, just stamping these in Catherine Pooler's Midnight Black ink. In addition, I also added a few Nuvo vintage drops in chalk stick, just to add a bit of an embellishment, and then also these white Nuvo drops also can mimic stars at the same time. So I hope this has been a really interesting video for you, showing you how to use your Fab Foils with your bonding powders, but also thinking, why not get your Fab Foils out and use it with your dark coloured cardstock. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, and why not subscribe to the channel. You can hit that bell icon as well to be notified when the next video is up. If you want to check out my personal channel, Pretty Little Button, I've included a link here as well as down below. And for 10% discount off at the Wow Embossing Powder shop, just use the code you can see on screen. Until next time, happy crafting!